The Voynich manuscript. Okay, a few of you have asked me to go into greater detail about my experience on different forums surrounding the Voynich. I can only speak to my experience with the Voynich Ninja Forum and the two subreddits. I can't go into the entire story because it's over a year long of different things that have happened, but some of those experiences are detailed on my profile. I do want to talk today, though, and I hope it answers some of the questions about academic exploitation and extraction. So, I went to a liberal arts school that was very selective at the time, and I was amidst a lot of students that went to private school. I grew up in a low income poverty situation, went to inner city public schools. So that was one of the biggest culture shocks I've ever experienced, is having to sort of code switch and switch my language for college. That being said, I've had some of the most incredible experiences I've had in the academic world, and I think that a lot of people should be able to have these experiences regularly. So I'm really into public education. Nothing I'm about to say is anti intellectual. I believe in academia, I believe in education. I don't necessarily believe in the privatization of education. I grew up in New Haven, and as far as I can remember, Yale has always had a strained relationship with the city. So I'll leave that research up to you just to stay on subject. The Voynich Ninja Forum is not fully affiliated with Yale. It's loosely affiliated with Yale, and it's open to the public. So there are people regularly posting on there that are not necessarily academics. I do believe that there are a handful of people on the forum that regularly post that are led by integrity and good faith, and are genuinely curious and about communal exchange of knowledge, which is what I'm all about. That unfortunately wasn't the overall tone that I experienced, and I'll let you do your research there. But it got me thinking a lot about extraction and how that relates to academic spheres. Academics in history related fields have to do a lot of excavation for their work, and that makes sense. But sometimes that excavation happens in other fields and in history fields with each other. So instead of excavating from historical documents and articles and citing those people appropriately, they excavate from each other and don't cite them. A few of you warned me about this when I first started posting, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal. A few of you were really concerned that my work would get stolen, and I made sure to protect my work as best as I could. But I didn't quite realize how big the problem was. I sensed this was an issue when I went to college 10 years ago, but I didn't quite realize how big of an issue it had become. I watched a video on TikTok recently where a woman was crying and sobbing and was basically talking about how cutthroat and dog eat dog the academic world was, and that her work was basically stolen. Reading from the comments, this has over 5,000 likes. Someone wrote, "For 3 years, I gave up my life to live alone on a small island collecting data for a well respected and awarded female scientist. All of it, my ideas, my code, and my writing is currently being plagiarized and given away to her favorite student who spent years privately undermining me. Both are inclusive, progressive women who put me into therapy and caused life altering physical and mental health issues." Beneath that, someone wrote, with over 1,000 likes, "Academia is Eurocentric and rooted in white supremacy." Someone wrote, with over 1,000 likes, "I was warned by a professor to keep my invisible disability a secret or I'd face discrimination from other professors in the department. I should have listened." Someone wrote, "Just like corporate, always leave a paper trail." And the one that resonated most with me in terms of my experience with the forums: "There is so much bullying, hazing, and abuse that goes on in academia. I wish someone had warned me as a first generation student." Someone wrote underneath one of my videos, "Never underestimate the rage of certain academics." I'm the type of person that still, even to this day, has the belief that people have good intentions. I'm going to continue releasing my work. I'm going to continue working on this. Nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to continuously bring people into this conversation. My proposal on the Voynich Ninja Forum, my thread, is still one of the most viewed threads in the past several years, and it's regularly being viewed. The recent threads that are continuously being made on the Voynich regarding other subjects are already starting to include extractions from my work, my research, my translations without giving credit. A researcher I know who's been sort of witnessing and knows all of my work and the work that I've put out there wrote to me in regards to recent posts on the Voynich Ninja Forum that may include some of my work. Um, I think they pretend and dismiss your claims and then extract and transform them and give no credit. Now, excavation is super important work, and a lot of the Voynich Ninja Forum sort of operates as a place of excavation in terms of older manuscripts. Many people on the forum have access to so many different manuscripts, and they have a lot of tools for comparison. They also have a lot of tools to rewrite or reshape history around this manuscript. I don't know if that's necessarily happening, but I really hope it's not. Anyway, I have some new articles up on Substack. Keep up with my work. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them.